Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Join us as we dive into the world of Disastrous Necromancer, where we'll unravel the mysteries of Lin Moyu's quest to become the strongest. From hidden secrets to epic battles, we're here to give you an exclusive look at the story before anyone else. If you're a fan of fantasy, necromancers, or just love a good adventure, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, comment, and share to support the channel, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chapter. Let's start the journey.
After hearing Yu Qingru's words, Lin Moyu confirmed that it was as he had thought. The place where they had just landed was warmer than where they were now. In this world, the temperature varied and was not evenly distributed. If we consider the cold areas as yin and the hot areas as yang, then the exit must be in one of three places: extreme yin, extreme yang, or the junction of the two. Lin Moyu thought for a moment. Let's keep moving, heading towards the cold. Yu Qingru now followed Lin Moyu's words without any objections. She knew very well that if she relied on herself, she would have died here long ago. She now regretted coming here. Curiosity really did kill the cat, no, the princess. The two continued forward, and Lin Moyu would occasionally remove the protective golden light, allowing Yu Qingru to feel the cold to guide their way. Each time, it was quite a struggle for Yu Qingru. But there was no other way. Lin Moyu couldn't feel the temperature, so Yu Qingru had to endure the hardship. Yu Qingru was quite happy to be able to contribute, even though she was frozen a few times. After all, it wouldn't kill her. Lin Moyu couldn't help but ask, "What made you decide to come here?" Yu Qingru hesitated for a moment before speaking. "I told you, you can't tell anyone." Lin Moyu immediately agreed. "My lips are sealed." Yu Qingru said, "Actually, besides being born with the power of space, I have another ability. I can sense things that are beneficial to me, like where there are treasures or where I can gain benefits. Although this sensing ability is not 100% accurate, it is generally reliable. After hearing the elder's words this time, I immediately had a sense, so I decided to come here." Lin Moyu smiled. "Then why did you ask me to come with you?" Yu Qingru shook her head. "First, you are trustworthy, and your strength is very strong. The facts have proven that my feeling was correct." Lin Moyu smiled. "Then when you went to the Nether Swamp, was that a wrong sense?" Yu Qingru glared at Lin Moyu with her big eyes. "I have forgotten everything before my reincarnation. Originally, this ability is not always effective, and it's normal to make mistakes occasionally." Lin Moyu asked, "Besides that, is there any other reason?" Yu Qingru did not hide anything and continued, "The elder suspects that this place is the origin of the Buddha clan and may contain their treasures." Lin Moyu said, "To be honest, I am also quite interested in the origin of the Buddha clan. The Buddha clan was born 100,000 years ago, after Shao Zhanshan ended the near-ancient era. But the true origin of the Buddha clan must be earlier, possibly tracing back to ancient times." Lin Moyu even suspected that the Buddha clan might have existed in ancient times. When the Great World was invaded by the Blood World, the Great World fought as a whole, and there were betrayals from various worlds. Was the Buddha clan fighting alongside the Great World, or were they among the betrayers? Could this help clarify some ancient situations? Lin Moyu had to admit that either way, it was very attractive to him. If he knew the information here, he might have come voluntarily. Having understood Yu Qingru's motive, Lin Moyu continued to ask, "Do you sense any benefits now?" Yu Qingru sighed, frowning. "I don't sense anything. Maybe I was wrong this time." Lin Moyu thought of a question. "What is the accuracy of your sensing ability? Have you ever calculated it?" Yu Qingru said, "About 60%. 60%. To Lin Moyu, this result was almost equivalent to having no certainty. With only 60% certainty, she dared to come here. She was really bold. Probably 1,000 years ago, she went to the Nether Swamp with the same certainty and ended up dying there, leading to her reincarnation." Lin Moyu sighed. "Have you ever thought about what if you were wrong and died here?" Yu Qingru snorted. "Don't take me for a fool. This princess came prepared with a reincarnation puppet. At worst, I will reincarnate again, and I won't lose my memory, just some cultivation." Lin Moyu responded, "Not bad, very smart." The protective golden light was removed again, and Yu Qingru couldn't help but shiver. After trembling for a few seconds, she pointed in a direction. There. The protective golden light enveloped her again, and Yu Qingru felt better. "It's so cold, how can it be so cold?" Here, the laws disappeared, and their strength was suppressed. The extremely low temperature was enough to freeze any cultivator below the Divine King realm. Even a divine sovereign would struggle here. Yu Qingru was lucky. Otherwise, she would have had to use her reincarnation puppet. Following the direction Yu Qingru pointed, Lin Moyu finally found the destination. On the icy and frozen ground stood an ice platform. On the ice platform was a peculiar Buddha statue. This Buddha statue was half translucent deep blue, and the other half was made of stone. The statue was lifelike, looking almost like a real person. Seeking flowers. Unfortunately, it was only half. The other half was broken stones, which looked somewhat fierce. These broken stones grew on the Buddha statue, merging with it. From the translucent half of the Buddha statue, it could be seen that the stones had deeply embedded into it. Yu Qingro and Lin Moyu walked onto the ice platform and observed carefully. Yu Qingro said, "This half-Buddha statue looks a bit like the Buddha clan's relic Buddha statue. It is said that when one cultivates the Buddha's teachings to the ancient Buddha realm, a relic Buddha statue will be produced. If a later Buddha clan member is destined to inherit the relic Buddha statue, they can inherit all the teachings of the ancient Buddha, achieving enlightenment. And this destined person doesn't have to be a cultivator. Even an ordinary Buddha clan member could obtain it." Lin Moyu observed for a moment, "This is not a relic Buddha statue." Yu Qingro couldn't help but ask, "Then what is it?" Lin Moyu confidently said, "Half of the Buddha statue is a soul. If I'm not mistaken, there is another half in a hot place, and in the center of that hot place, there is another half soul, also entwined with stones." Lin Moyu was very sure. He wasn't guessing, he had seen it. He saw a causal line extending from this half soul, reaching far away. In this space where the laws were broken, the causal line was still intact. It was this causal line that led to Lin Moyu's judgment. Lin Moyu had more thoughts, but he needed to verify them personally. Suddenly, Yu Qingro felt her body lighten as Lin Moyu picked her up and held her in his arms. Yu Qingro blushed. "What are you doing?" Lin Moyu said, "Going to find the other half of the Buddha statue." His whole body shone with golden light, holding Yu Qingro with one hand, and shot forward along the causal line. Yu Qingro, in Lin Moyu's arms for the second time, felt a different kind of warmth again. Besides being protected by the golden light, there was also the warmth from Lin Moyu's body, giving her a strong sense of security. The ground kept retreating in her vision, and the gray ground began to change, turning a light red. She felt the temperature change as well, the cold receding and the heat rising. The temperature continued to rise, and flames appeared ahead. The broken stones turned into fireballs, burning fiercely in the sky. Lin Moyu's speed increased again, and soon, a high platform covered in flames appeared in their sight. On the high platform, a half-red Buddha statue stood, lifelike. The red flame and ice-blue Buddha statues were identical, also half-formed, but complementary halves. If they could be joined together, they would form a complete Buddha statue. Unfortunately, the other half was covered in broken stones. The stones were deeply rooted into the statue, impossible to separate. Lin Moyu carefully probed, finding the stones growing on the statue extremely solid and immovable. Yu Qingro asked curiously, "You said these two Buddha statues are souls. But how could souls without physical bodies exist for so long? This place feels ancient, clearly a very long time has passed." Lin Moyu was also pondering this question. Sensing the ancient atmosphere, he said, "Souls at the other shore realm couldn't exist this long, but higher realms might be different." Yu Qingro was shocked. "You're saying it's an existence even stronger than the other shore realm? Isn't that just legend?" Lin Moyu replied, "Legends are often based on things that once existed, otherwise there wouldn't even be legends." Perhaps because Lin Moyu sounded so certain, Yu Qingro smiled and asked, "Have you seen it yourself?" Lin Moyu nodded, "I have." Yu Qingru's eyes lit up, widening, "Really? Then tell me, what's beyond the other shore realm?" Lin Moyu said, "Actually, this isn't a secret. If you ask the clan elders, they would tell you, beyond the other shore is called Supreme." Indeed, it wasn't a secret, just a name for a realm. Given Yu Qingru's status, she could easily get an answer if she asked, so there was no point hiding it. Yu Qingro murmured, "So it's Supreme. I wonder how it compares to Holy Venerable." Lin Moyu suddenly had a flash of insight, as if grasping some key points. "Princess, do you know about Holy Venerable's rule worlds?" Yu Qingro nodded, "Yes, I've trained in the Grand Elder's rule world before." Lin Moyu probed further, "What do you think rule worlds are like?" Yu Qingro answered, "Rule worlds eliminate all relevant rules, keeping only the ones needed. It's a world belonging to the Holy Venerable. In the Grand Elder's rule world, spatial laws were very prominent. Training there was twice as effective." Realizing something, Yu Qingro exclaimed, "Are you saying this is a rule world?" Looking around, Lin Moyu said, "If I'm not mistaken, it should be." Yu Qingro surveyed the area. "Now that you mention it, it does seem similar." Lin Moyu had once entered How Holy Venerable's rule world, but his time there was brief and it was too unique, so he couldn't fully grasp it. He only had a vague sense, which became clearer after Yu Qingru's reminder. If his guess was correct, this was a Supreme's rule world, even more powerful than a Holy Venerables. Even after the Supreme's death, their rule world remained, forming an independent world. Lin Moyu had other thoughts as well. Suddenly, the heavens rumbled. The fireballs that had been chaotically flying through the air began to violently dance. Countless flames fell from the sky, crashing into the ground and exploding into fierce fires. The entire earth shook, cracks appearing everywhere with flames bursting forth, turning the sky blood red. Watch out, Yu Qingru saw a fireball hurtling towards Lin Moyu like a meteor. Lin Moyu reacted faster, pulling her behind him and throwing a punch. His fist shone with dazzling golden light, blasting away the flaming meteor. The massive impact force made Lin Moyu tremble, nearly losing his footing. The golden light on his fist dimmed significantly. Such power, Lin Moyu sighed softly, once again embracing Yu Qingru and quickly retreating. Shortly after they left, numerous fireballs crashed down from the sky, targeting the high platform. The fireballs mainly struck the platform, especially the Buddha statue atop it. Fire pillars rose from the ground around the platform, forming a defense against the fireballs. In truth, what needed to be defended against wasn't the fireballs themselves, but the stone fragments within them. The flames' purpose was to burn away these stone fragments. The fragments were incredibly sturdy, resisting the flames no matter how fiercely they burned. Yu Qingru sighed. How did this happen? Do you know why? Don't speak for now, Lin Moyu interrupted her. Yu Qingru obediently closed her mouth. Lin Moyu activated his soul sight, searching for something amidst the countless flames. Earlier, he had caught a fleeting glimpse of a subtle karmic thread. This thread seemed to connect to the half-Buddha statue from the sky. Karmic threads weren't always visible, only revealing themselves under special circumstances. However, seeing the thread had largely confirmed Lin Moyu's suspicions. With effort, he managed to spot the karmic thread again. Let's go, Lin Moyu said, picking up Yu Qingru without explanation and dashing off into the distance. The sky was violently shaking, and the previously calm stone fragments had become extremely agitated. They rained down like raindrops, each impact creating a large crater in the ground. However, these craters would quickly repair themselves, returning to normal in an instant. Lin Moyu carried Yu Qingru, constantly dodging the stone fragments while tracking the karmic thread. The thread would appear and disappear, easily lost if he wasn't careful. Finally, Lin Moyu found the correct path. An unusual scene appeared on the barren land. Yu Qingru exclaimed in shock. One side is blazing flames, the other is ice. A line had appeared on the ground, with red flames on the left and deep blue ice on the right. Where fire and ice met resembled a strange planet, yet was completely different. Lin Moyu advanced along this dividing line, his speed increasing. Occasionally he glanced at the karmic thread in the sky, ensuring he hadn't lost his way. There's a statue ahead, Yu Qingru pointed straight ahead. Lin Moyu had already seen it, a statue about 100 meters tall, equally lifelike. The difference was that it was made entirely of stone blocks. In a 10,000-meter radius around the statue, no stone fragments fell. It was completely calm. Not only were there no falling fragments, but the temperature had also returned to normal, neither hot nor cold. Lin Moyu finally relaxed, setting Yu Qingru down and dispelling his Divine King golden body. Maintaining the Divine King golden body for so long had put considerable strain on him. They approached the statue. Yu Qingru said, "This statue seems to be an ancestor of your human race." There was no doubt. Lin Moyu knew it was a human statue the moment he saw it. Its attire was identical to that of the star-shattering Supreme. What he saw differed from what Yu Qingru saw. Yu Qingru only saw a lifelike statue. But through his soul sight, Lin Moyu could see the soul within the statue. He looked again with his undead vision, confirming the soul was dead. His suspicions were now fully confirmed. This supreme soul had died, yet continued to fight. Such willpower was admirable. Lin Moyu bowed respectfully to the statue. This human ancestor, fighting for the great world, deserved his respect. Lin Moyu bowed 3 times, completing the grand gesture. Suddenly, the statue burst into brilliant light. A beam shot from its eyes into Lin Moyu's mind. Outside his soul world, a majestic figure appeared. In the soul world, a majestic figure appeared. A deep gaze fell on Lin Moyu's soul, and a dignified voice resonated. "My name is Blackstone, Supreme of the human race." The soul trembled and slowly saluted Blackstone Supreme, Junior of the human race, greets Blackstone Supreme. The soul nodded slowly. The black blood great world invaded, causing rebellions in various realms. The Buddha realm took advantage of the chaos, attempting to divide the territories of our great world. By the order of the realm lord, I guarded the territories and fought the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha for years. The Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha's strength was not inferior to mine. I ultimately used my rule world to destroy its physical body and split its soul. I used my own rule world to trap the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha, turning my soul into willpower, fighting endlessly. The Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha's soul was split into two, not truly dead, leaving a sliver of life. If a junior of the human race is fortunate enough to hear these words, do not let the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha be resurrected. Listening to Blackstone Supreme's words, Lin Moyu finally understood what was going on. His previous judgment was correct. This was indeed a rule world, and it was a fusion of two rule worlds. The land belonged to the rule world of the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha, while the floating stones in the sky belonged to Blackstone Supreme. Blackstone Supreme used his rule world to forcibly destroy the physical body of the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha and then split its soul into two. Even so, the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha did not die. Lin Moyu had suspected from the beginning that if it were dead, there would be no causal lines appearing. As long as the soul of the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha could be reunited, it could potentially be resurrected. At that time, if a Heavenly Buddha equivalent to a Supreme appeared in the Great World, it would be a disaster not only for the human race but for all races. Lin Moyu had connected the entire cause and effect and also understood the origin of the Buddha clan. The Buddha clan in the Great World originated from the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha. The Buddha clan must have discovered this place and obtained some Buddhist inheritance and secret methods from the soul of the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha, thus establishing the Buddha clan. But later, why didn't the Buddha clan come to rescue the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha? The Buddha clan also has Saint Lords. They should have the ability to rescue the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and guessed a possibility. All beings have a side of greed, whether for power or authority. Even after becoming a Saint Lord, this does not change. The strongest in the Buddha clan now are the three Buddha ancestors. Their words are law, and everyone in the Buddha clan must obey their commands. But if the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha were rescued, they would no longer be the ultimate authority. Just like in the mortal world, everyone wants to be the emperor, no one likes to be subordinate. Lin Moyu felt his guess was correct. It should be like this. His eyes regained their luster, and his consciousness returned. Lin Moyu exhaled deeply. Now he faced the problem of how to kill the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha. Directly attacking the soul was definitely not an option. With his abilities, it was impossible to kill a soul at the supreme level. If it were that easy to kill, Blackstone Supreme would have done it long ago. What should I do? Lin Moyu frowned, his mind racing. Yu Qingro asked, "What's wrong? Are you facing a difficult problem?" Lin Moyu shook his head. "Indeed, I've encountered some trouble." Yu Qingro said softly, "Tell me about it." Lin Moyu said, "This is an independent world formed by the collision of two rule worlds. In ancient times, Blackstone Supreme and the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha perished together here." Lin Moyu briefly explained the situation. Due to Yu Qingru's special status, she had access to many secrets. Yu Qingru knew more than ordinary other Shore Realm experts. After listening to Lin Moyu's words, Yu Qingru also fell into deep thought. "So, you want to kill the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha now, but you don't know how to do it." Lin Moyu nodded, "Yes, and I suspect this place is the Buddha clan's last trump card. If the Buddha clan cannot defeat the Saint Lords, the Buddha ancestors will find a way to resurrect the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha. At that time, both our races will face great trouble." Yu Qingru also fell into deep thought, thinking of ways with Lin Moyu. After a moment, Yu Qingru asked, "When we found the half-Ice Buddha, how did you quickly find the half-Fire Buddha?" Lin Moyu said, "They are connected by a causal line." At this point, Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. "I know, as long as we cut the causal line, we can kill the Ice and Fire Heavenly Buddha." Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes narrowed. "Although I haven't seen a causal line, I've heard the Grand Elder talk about it." According to the Grand Elder, the causal line is a special law line generated by the law of causality. The law of causality is different from ordinary laws. Ordinary laws are on the surface, while the law of causality is hidden deep within. Even if you can see it, you can't touch it. Lin Moyu also knew that the law of causality was not easy to break. Under the collision of the two rule worlds, almost all laws were shattered, and the law lines were ground to dust. But the law of causality remained unaffected. This law was too special. It was like the hidden king in the world of laws. Even if you could see it, you couldn't touch it. "No matter what, we have to try." Breaking the law of causality was currently the only way. Lin Moyu and Yu Qingro returned, advancing along the line where ice and fire intersected. Gradually, Lin Moyu saw a causal line. This causal line extended from the world of ice to the world of fire, representing that the soul of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was not completely severed. Now, as long as the causal line could be cut, tracing the effect back to the cause, it could cause enough damage to the soul of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. Lin Moyu tried punching the causal line, but his fist passed through it without causing any harm. Yu Qingro said softly, "Let me try." She remembered where Lin Moyu had punched, knowing the causal line was there. She used her remaining strength and took out her treasured long sword. The long sword swung, forming a spatial blade. The space was torn like cloth, but the causal line remained unaffected. Yu Qingro asked, "Did it work?" Lin Moyu shook his head, "No." Yu Qingro sighed, "Although the laws of space and causality both belong to the first tier of laws, my power level is too weak. If I could use the power of rules, it might have some effect." Lin Moyu said, "Normally, effects follow causes, but this time we need to trace the effect back to the cause, going against the norm, which is inherently difficult. Moreover, the environment here is special, and our spells are suppressed, making it hard to exert full power, which is normal." Yu Qingro tried 2 more times, but the result was the same, and she had to give up. Lin Moyu knew that ordinary attacks wouldn't work, so he didn't waste his strength. Suddenly, the ground shook, and the stones in the sky began to spin as if a storm was about to occur. Then, a huge rift appeared in the sky, and the aura of the great world poured in madly. At the same time, the aura from the rule world also flowed out. Lin Moyu said, "Every once in a while, this rule world absorbs power from the great world to maintain its existence. At the same time, it expels the parts it doesn't need. This rift is both an entrance and an exit. Let's try again. If it doesn't work, we'll leave and let the Saint Lords handle it. I'm sure they will have a way." Yu Qingro followed Lin Moyu's words, "All right, I'll listen to you." In fact, Lin Moyu had another concern he hadn't mentioned. The Saint Lords were currently battling the Buddha ancestors. If the Buddha ancestors were ultimately defeated, would they attempt to resurrect the ice and fire heavenly Buddha? He didn't believe that over the years, the Buddha clan hadn't made any preparations here. They might not even need to come in person. Remote control could directly resurrect the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. Lin Moyu felt a sense of worry rising in his heart. If his fears came true, it would be a real problem. Causal lines rarely appear. Besides causal-type treasures, a very strong causal relationship is needed for a causal line to manifest. Otherwise, even with the soul eye, it would be difficult to see a causal line. The causal relationship of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was extremely strong. We must find a way to eliminate the causal line. But how exactly can we do that? If only Antares were here, he would surely know what to do. When faced with an unsolvable problem, Lin Moyu's first thought was always of Antares. That guy seemed to know everything, as if there was nothing he didn't understand. The only difference was whether he was willing to share the information. Lin Moyu slowly pondered all the methods he had at his disposal. Physical strength had already proven useless. In terms of spells, Yu Qingru's attacks were ineffective, and it was highly likely that his own would be as well. Whether it works or not, let's give it a try. Even though he knew it probably wouldn't work, he decided to try anyway. He mobilized his suppressed power, and with a point of his finger, a ball of flame appeared out of thin air. The undying flame burned fiercely in the sky, and the skeleton throne emerged from the flames, with the skeleton king slowly rising. Since reaching the Junior Divine Lord realm, this was the first time Lin Moyu had summoned the skeleton king. The skeleton king exuded the aura of a divine lord, and not just an ordinary divine lord. There was a trace of rule power flickering on him. Lin Moyu's heart skipped a beat. Sure enough, it has reached the high-level divine lord realm. The Legion ruler had already reached the 6th rank of the divine lord realm, so it was only natural that the more powerful skeleton king would possess the strength of a high-level divine lord. Yu Qingru's beautiful eyes sparkled as she looked at the 10,000-meter tall skeleton king, murmuring, "This must be your strongest power, right?" Lin Moyu smiled slightly, more or less. Yu Qingru snorted, "If you had summoned this big guy during the sparring, no one would have dared to compete with you." Lin Moyu shook his head. That wasn't the result the Saint Lords wanted. Yu Qingru understood. "I was just saying." Lin Moyu smiled, "Thank you." Yu Qingru waved her hand. "No need to thank me. Compared to what you've done, this is nothing." If Yu Qingru hadn't conceded at that time and had just kept dodging, Lin Moyu would have had no way to deal with her. The skeleton king raised its bone sword. It couldn't lock onto the causal line, nor could it use the divine slash. As its master, Lin Moyu clearly felt that the bone sword carried a trace of rule power. But it was still useless. The bone sword passed through the causal line without affecting it at all. A mere trace of rule power was not enough to impact the causal line. As expected, it didn't work. Lin Moyu's face showed deep thought, his brows furrowing tighter. Yu Qingro saw this and knew it still hadn't worked. A few seconds later, Lin Moyu pointed his finger again. A flash of red light passed, and the power of a curse rose. Fusion spell, time curse. Without the support of the Great World's laws, the power of the curse became extremely weak. It was still useless. The causal line remained unaffected. The causal line was formed by the law of causality, which emphasizes cause and effect. There must be a cause before there can be an effect. The splitting of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha's soul was the cause, but it wasn't dead. The two halves of the soul still maintained some degree of connection. Therefore, the appearance of the causal line became the effect. What Lin Moyu needed to do now was to directly sever this effect. Tracing the effect back to the cause from a broken effect was incredibly difficult. What should I do? The Skeleton King was useless, so other summoning spells would also be ineffective. Curse-type spells were equally useless. Corpse Explosion? Lin Moyu thought of his trump card, but without a target to lock onto, Corpse Explosion couldn't be used. If he used Corpse Explosion on the soul, Lin Moyu didn't think it would be the right method. The strength of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha's soul was unknown, and Corpse Explosion might not be able to kill it. It could even disrupt the delicate balance that had been formed, leading to unpredictable results. Just thinking about it gave Lin Moyu a chilling feeling. A deep sense of dread rose from his heart, and Lin Moyu instinctively felt that he couldn't do that. There's one more way, and that's to use Resurrection of the Dead to revive Blackstone Supreme. As long as Blackstone Supreme is revived, even if only for a second or half a second, it would be enough to completely kill the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. But what if it fails? After all, it's a Supreme. It's been dead for countless years, and it's uncertain whether it can be successfully revived. If it fails, the ice and fire heavenly Buddha will lose its balance and might immediately resurrect, and then it's all over. Lin Moyu considered all possibilities, from the best outcome to the worst. He thought very carefully, not daring to make any mistakes. Any mistake would lead to his demise. At that point, even having 18,000 lives wouldn't be enough. Lin Moyu was completely stuck, unable to figure out how to deal with the causal line. If only I had a causal-type treasure. Lin Moyu even thought of the causal gourd of the blood-killing Divine Lord, but it was just a thought, with no practical use. Yu Qingro saw Lin Moyu so troubled and couldn't help but feel frustrated. She really couldn't help Lin Moyu. Compared to him, she couldn't even see the causal line. She stomped her foot lightly on the ground, making a tapping sound. If only I were a Saint Lord, I could elevate the law of space to the rule of space and definitely cut the causal line. Hearing this, Lin Moyu suddenly slapped his forehead. How could I be so foolish? Why did I get stuck in a dead end? Yu Qingro immediately asked, did you think of a solution? Lin Moyu said, I thought of a way to try. He took out the golden sword and swung it at the causal line. The sword passed through the line, leaving the causal line unscathed. The golden sword contained the rule power of the heavenly Saint Lord. Although not much, it was much stronger than the trace of rule power in the Skeleton King. The result was still the same, the causal line remained intact. However, Lin Moyu's eyes lit up. He noticed that the causal line was stained with a bit of golden light. The causal line trembled slightly, shaking off the golden light. It really works. The causal line had to remain intact, but being stained with golden light indicated that rule power could touch the causal line. This was the result Lin Moyu wanted. His biggest headache was not being able to touch the causal line. Now he was completely certain that as long as the rule power was strong enough, it could shake the causal line, even break it. With this realization, he had a complete plan. His eyes filled with confidence, shining brightly. Yu Qingro looked at him, feeling a bit dazed. Lin Moyu's current state was like that of an extremely confident being, exuding charm. Yu Qingro felt herself getting drawn in, a strange and comfortable feeling. Lin Moyu pointed his finger again, and the causal line was covered with a layer of grayish color. Fusion spell, Bone Hell. It wasn't just Bone Hell, it also contained a large amount of belief power and multicolored water. Lin Moyu directly took out 100 drops of multicolored water and integrated them into the spell. At the same time, he infused all the belief power he had accumulated into Bone Hell. With the dual enhancement, Bone Hell was instantly strengthened. It broke through the Divine King realm, reaching the Divine Lord realm, and then continued to rise, giving birth to a trace of rule power. The entire hell world became more real, as if it truly existed. Bone Hell enveloped the causal line, and Lin Moyu could clearly sense the causal line passing through Bone Hell. The next second, he swung the golden sword, letting the power of rules fall on the causal line. The causal line shook, shaking off the golden light, while also shaking the Bone Hell. As it shook, a mark appeared on the causal line, and Lin Moyu's soul instantly completed the lock-on. Mark complete. Lin Moyu let out a long sigh of relief. All of this was done to complete the marking. With the mark in place, soul locking could then be performed. This ability was also a kind of rule, which even the causal line could not avoid. Next, a scale appeared in Lin Moyu's hand, belonging to the Abyssal Dragon Demon of the other shore realm. The Abyssal Dragon Demon was already dead, leaving behind only 3 scales. For Lin Moyu, as long as he had 1 scale in hand, it was enough to use Corpse Explosion. Even without the support of the Great World's laws, Lin Moyu had a way to push the power of Corpse Explosion to its limit. It's up to you. Silently reciting this, he took out the multicolored water again. This time, Lin Moyu went all out, directly taking out 1,000 drops of multicolored water. At the same time, 3 belief tokens appeared in his hand, the ones sent by the Bai family ancestor. Each belief token contained 100,000 units of belief power. Lin Moyu directly used 3 belief tokens, which meant 300,000 units of belief power. 1,000 drops of multicolored water would take 3,000 days to recover. 300,000 units of belief power would take 750 days for him to accumulate. A corpse of the other shore realm, 1,000 drops of multicolored water, 300,000 units of belief power. For this one strike, Lin Moyu had truly gone all out. If this still doesn't work, then we'll have to leave first and let the Saint Lords handle it. Lin Moyu was clear about his own capabilities. If it couldn't be done, he also knew how to choose. If the sky falls, there are taller people to hold it up. It wouldn't be his turn. Lin Moyu said to Yu Qingro, "Stand behind me." Corpse Explosion wouldn't harm himself, but Yu Qingro would be hard-pressed to escape unscathed. Yu Qingro was very obedient, hiding behind Lin Moyu, with only half her head peeking out, watching curiously. The 3 belief tokens burned, and all the belief power within them was injected into the spell. The multicolored water followed closely behind, infusing into the spell. A faint light flashed in Lin Moyu's hand, and the scale silently turned to dust. Star-level spell, Corpse Explosion. Boom. A seemingly insignificant explosion occurred on the causal line. This explosion seemed even smaller than a spark, flashing and disappearing, not eye-catching at all. But Lin Moyu's expression changed drastically. He quickly turned around, grabbed Yu Qingro, and fled like the wind. Just as he flew away, a terrifying explosion erupted from the deepest part of the world. Space shattered, the ground split open with huge cracks, and ice and flames simultaneously erupted from beneath the earth. 2 terrifying forces collided, then exploded, transforming into a giant palm, smashing down towards Lin Moyu. At the center of the explosion, a huge Buddha statue appeared. This Buddha statue was half ice and half fire, roaring at Lin Moyu. Its gaze was filled with anger, killing intent rising. Damn it, the ice and fire heavenly Buddha really isn't dead. Lin Moyu knew that his actions had completely awakened the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. He wanted to kill it, so naturally, the ice and fire heavenly Buddha wanted to kill him too. This was fair. Star-level spell, Undead Wings. Origin spell, Gather Strength. Lin Moyu wasn't flustered. The undead wings spread out, and the origin spell activated simultaneously. His realm soared, directly reaching the 6th rank of the Divine Lord realm. All his soul power was injected into the undead wings, and his entire being transformed into lightning, shooting forward. The space in front of him cracked, but didn't shatter. This was a world of rules, and space was more solid than in the Great World. He actually couldn't break through it. Yu Qingro curled up in Lin Moyu's embrace. She saw the terrifying Buddha statue and that giant hand about to arrive. Her fingers moved, and all her remaining power exploded at this moment. The law of space trembled, cooperating with the undead wings, and the space in front finally shattered. Lin Moyu plunged in headfirst, and at that moment, the giant palm fell. The earth rumbled, and the entire world of rules shook. Terrifying power rushed into the spatial rift, and Lin Moyu grunted, forcefully being knocked back out, returning to the world of rules once again. Purple light flashed on his body. Under this strike, he had actually been killed once. In his soul world, the entire undead army, nearly 2 billion undead, died simultaneously, then revived under the effect of the Undying Undead spell. The power of this strike was too strong, directly exceeding the limit of undying undead, and also surpassing the limit of damage transfer. If it weren't for his innate talent, Lin Moyu would have been completely dead. The terrifying power of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was evident. The supreme powerhouse from ancient times was too horrifying. Yu Qingro asked anxiously, "Are you all right?" For a moment just now, she had lost her connection with Lin Moyu. She felt as if Lin Moyu had died, and at that moment, her heart seemed about to shatter. It was a very uncomfortable feeling, but fortunately, it only lasted for an instant, and Lin Moyu's aura reappeared. Lin Moyu said, "I'm fine." At this moment, ice and fire reenacted in the sky, and the shadow of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha appeared again. The ice and fire heavenly Buddha's gaze contained killing intent, extremely cold. The half-ice, half-fire giant palm pressed down again, determined to kill Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu fled again, the undead wings flapping, about to use the origin spell for the second time. No matter what, he couldn't just sit and wait for death. Yu Qingru's hand produced an exquisite shell, which had been hanging around her neck, worn close to her skin. This was her trump card. Although it might not be able to defeat the ice and fire heavenly Buddha, it could at least block one attack. Suddenly, countless stone fragments fell from the sky. The fragments densely struck the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. The shadow of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was instantly riddled with holes, and that ice and fire giant palm was also smashed on the spot. The ice and fire heavenly Buddha let out an angry roar, a sound unlike a human voice, without any Buddhist chant, more like a beast. Seeing this, Lin Moyu immediately stopped, putting away the origin spell he was about to use. Phew, saved. The Black Stone Supreme had finally taken action, saving him. The two terrifying powerhouses who had been fighting from ancient times until now began to battle again. However, Lin Moyu could clearly sense that the aura of the ice and fire heavenly Buddha was rapidly weakening, while the aura of the Black Stone Supreme remained unchanged, still powerful. The causal line must have been broken, Lin Moyu guessed in his heart. Once the causal line was broken, tracing back from effect to cause was enough to cause soul damage to the ice and fire heavenly Buddha. The state that the ice and fire heavenly Buddha had been maintaining would be disrupted. In other words, it would face death. This great battle that had lasted for 1,000,000 years was finally about to come to a perfect end. The battle between the two became more intense, and terrifying energy fluctuations pushed Lin Moyu to retreat continuously, gradually moving away from the battlefield. Yu Qingro exhaled, finally safe. Lin Moyu's expression suddenly changed, and he took Yu Qingro back several steps. A mass of black chi rose from where he had originally been standing. The black chi transformed into dark green flames, and a sinister laugh sounded, quick reaction. Lin Moyu looked at the newcomer, his gaze narrowing, his whole body tense, his voice equally cold, Abyssal Demon Lord.